Hope you're having a good day. Before I get into the video here, I just want to tell you guys the story behind the 67 C40 here. Most of you guys already know the story, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell it again just in case some of you out there that don't know the story. So when I was 16, we had a Kawasaki Mule at the time, which if you don't know, it's kind of like a John Deere Gator, if you ever seen one of them. And it was a nice little machine. It was a four-wheel drive. It had big meats on it, meaty tires on there, big lugs, and it had a nice little snow plow, a cab, a heater, all that good stuff. It was a nice little machine. It was a workhorse truck. So I was looking online and I came across the 67 C40 here. The description on the ad said that the truck ran, dump box works, everything pretty much works, and it's pretty much just meant for on-site work, which is perfect for us at the time. So I called the guy and see if he was interested in trading straight across for the Kawasaki Mule that we had, and he was interested. He wanted to do the deal. So we went out, looked at the truck, and it was everything that we needed at the time. And so we traded straight across, got the dump truck. We used it for a while, which really helped us out. It saved a lot of time and a lot of wear and tear on our tractor. And so, but it kind of got to a point where we didn't really need a dump truck all that much anymore. We really needed a truck to haul feed and pull trailers, things like that. Then we needed a dump truck. So we decided to pull the dump box off this guy and start building the flatbed. And that's what we did, but there was one big problem we ran into with this truck early on. It had Widowmaker split rims on it, tire size and wheel size 7.5 by 20, which is very rare. And the Widowmaker split rims, which if you don't know, they are very dangerous. Nobody will touch them. They're like illegal. But I got lucky enough to find, I had two regular split rim wheels on this truck, but they're 7.5 by 20. It was the wheel size, so that kind of became a problem. But I was lucky enough, I found 7.5 by 20 brand new tires, and I was able to put those on the regular split rims on this truck. But I still had 4 wheels that were Widowmaker split rims, and those were 7.5 by 20 also. And so we were like, well, we can't, you know, I don't know, we're probably gonna have to have wheels made for this truck, wheels specially made just for this truck. But we came across, my dad actually, he found this wheel shop. They're called Wheels Now. I will put their website right here on the screen, but the link to their website will also be in the video description, so make sure you go check that out. We came across them, or my dad came across them. He found those guys and told them our situation, and they're like, nope, we can help you guys out. We have 22.5 wheels that will bolt right up to your truck. So if you have a C40, C50, C60 Chevy truck, they have wheels that will go bolt right up to this truck. They're 22.5 wheels, and the offsets and pilot holes are designed for these trucks, so it will bolt right up to your truck. And they say you can run 9R 22.5 tires, 10R 22.5 tires, and 11R 22.5 tires, which you can run all 3 of those different sizes with these wheels for these trucks. They strongly recommend the 9R 22.5 tires to put on the 22.5 wheels for these trucks, because they fit really nice. They fit perfect. So that's what we went with, and they do. They bolt right up. The tires fit perfectly. I mean, it looks like the tires are just meant for this truck. Like it came from the factory, like this. So they fit perfectly. So if you have split rims, or you got bad wheels, or need new tires, whatever, go to Wheels Now, because they will help you out. You can get rid of those Widowmakers, the split rims, all that good stuff, and just go to a regular truck wheel. They're kind of expensive, but it's worth the money. It really is. So you can get the 22.5 wheels and put all new tires on there, and you don't have to worry about no split rims and anything crazy like that. So Wheels Now, check them out. I'll have the link in the video description, so make sure you go check them out. So that's just that's kind of my story behind my 67 here. That's kind of the story of how we kind of got started with it. When we first got the truck, obviously we weren't looking at trying to have a nice truck or a nice flatbed or anything like that. We just needed a dump truck at the time, and that's all we really cared about. But it later on, a few years later, it turned into something really nice. We repainted it, put all new wheels, tires, built the flatbed. We did a few things too. We put an Edelbrock carburetor on it with the old style manual choke. Real simple, real straightforward. The truck runs really good. There's a lot of life left in the motor. We haven't done anything to the motor really besides new carburetor, new valve covers. We should put some new belts or a new belt and hoses. There's only one belt on this truck. But yeah, I mean, the truck runs good. We haven't really done too much to it. But yeah, painted it, did a little tune up to it, built the flatbed, new tires, new wheels. I mean, this thing, it's really coming together pretty nice. So I'm going to turn this camera around here. So this is the flatbed. My dad and I completely custom built it ourselves. Yeah, it came out really nice. I really like it. We just recently put the sideboards on there because when we hauled feed a few times without the sideboards, we hauled feed a few times with it, and we were having problems with bags of grain falling off the truck. So we decided to build the sideboards so we don't lose our bags of feed. And but it also gives it a really nice look. I mean, that came out really good. I wasn't expecting it to come out that good. So I think I'm just going to leave those sideboards on the majority of the time, unless we have to haul like a pallet of something, then we would have to take them off. But yeah, the flatbed took my dad and I about 6 to 7 months from start to finish. So it did not take too long to build it. The sideboards here, the only thing that really holds them in, they just sit in these side pockets here. We got some side pockets down each side, and we just got some 2x4s here, and those just set down in there. And we got another 2x4 here on the bottom, and that just kind of helps keep the sideboards from falling down too far into the side pockets. So they basically just sit in there. We got a 2x4 running up front there. That just helps kind of stabilize the sideboards here. That way they don't sway back and forth going down the road. We also have a chain here on the back just to kind of help do the same thing, just kind of help support the sideboards so they don't sway back and forth too much. But other than that, that's all that really holds these in, and they work really good. They don't fall out going down the road or nothing. They're pretty heavy themselves, so they should pretty much just stay right there. They shouldn't move around too much. And the deck here, I believe these are 2x10s that we used on here. Very good wood, solid. We stained everything. So this should last a very long time. So yeah, that came out really nice. I really like that. The reason why we put like this little tunnel in the middle of the flatbed is for our gooseneck. So on the gooseneck trailer, will not clear our flatbed here. It would run right into it. So that's why we had to do this little tunnel here in the middle. That way we can back right up to the gooseneck, and the neck of the gooseneck will slide right down the middle of the deck and slide down right onto the ball. So real simple. That will make it really nice when it comes to pulling gooseneck trailers with it. Eventually we'll build us a cover right here with like 1/8 inch plate steel, and we'll build us a nice little lid here. Put some hinges on it, and that way when we pull a trailer, we can just flip the lid over and lay it down on the front part of the deck, and then we can come up with some kind of a lock or something to help hold the lid down. That way it doesn't fly up on us or something. But yeah, that's why we did this little valley here, this tunnel. And then the bumper here on the truck, the back bumper, we used 1/8 inch plate steel for the back bumper. We also took some box steel, and we just kind of braced it along the edges of it just for that extra reinsurance, just in case we back up against a dirt pile or something. Then we just have that little extra strength there. Yeah, we completely custom made the back bumper here ourselves. I like the ends of it. I really like that design a lot more than just having a square bumper on the back. It gives it a little more character, I guess. So that's the way we went with the design. We just angled the ends out there. I think that looks pretty cool. And then we got the mud flaps that come down. That just looks really nice, I think. And of course you got the license plate, and yes, I used a face mask to cover up my license plate. But yeah, we got all brand new lights on the whole flatbed. We got brand new LED brake lights back here. And those other lights on there, those are cargo lights or backup lights, whatever you want to call them. We got 2 on the back bumper, and we got 2 up there on the headache rack. And those 4 lights are hooked to a toggle switch inside the cab. So at nighttime and you need to see behind you, you just flip the switch in the cab. It goes from not being able to see your hand in front of you to it's like daytime behind you. So it's very bright at night, and that's exactly what we need out here in the country, because you can't see nothing out here at night. So yeah, we got our cargo lights there. We got 2 license plate lights on the back there for the license plate. Those are also LEDs. Everything on this flatbed's LED, so it's good and bright. Doesn't pull very much. They'll last a long time. Just a really good way of doing it. Our headache rack, we got the CB antenna on the top there. You gotta have a CB in an old truck like this. So I got the CB antenna on the headache rack there. And we got some on both sides of the headache rack. We got handles, so anytime that our sideboards are not on the truck, you can actually step up here on the step, and then you can just reach up, grab the handle, and then you can put your foot. So like you could, if the sideboards weren't there, you can just put your foot there on the corner of the flatbed and jump right up. So that makes it kind of nice. And when it came to our wiring on the flatbed, I don't know if you guys can see that, or that's where all the wiring comes in into the flatbed from the underneath the truck itself. All the wires come up from underneath the cab and tie into the flatbed right under there. And this is the main wire harness for the whole flatbed. That's what feeds the whole flatbed right there. And the wires, they're all brand new, obviously. And what we did to make it really clean and really nice, let's see if I can get up under here. So we got this wire harness here. We got this plastic tube in here. We ran all the way down just like that, along the edge of our flatbed, but up underneath the flatbed here. So it's out of the way. It looks really nice. It's protected. And that's how we ran all the wiring throughout this whole flatbed. So it looks really nice, really clean. I love it. And all of our wire connections, wherever we tied in lights, extended wires, whatever we had to do, we soldered all the wire connections. We soldered all of them, we shrink taped them, and we also wrapped it in the insulation there. So in all that tubing, plastic tubing. So as far as the wiring and lights and all that goes on the truck here, or at least on the flatbed, we should never have any problems with connections or wires coming loose or wires corroding or anything like that. So it's really nice. So I absolutely love how this truck came out. It took some money and a lot of work and time, but it was definitely worth it, because you take your time and you do everything. You kind of go over the top sometimes, but when you're all finished, it's a really, you got something solid here. And like I said, the wiring, the lights, we will never have any problems with that. And if we do, it'll be on the cab side of the truck if we have any wiring issues, because the wiring up underneath the truck itself is probably the original wiring from back in '67. So, but all that wiring, the fuse panel, all that is still working. So we just tapped into that wiring, and eventually we might switch out and put all, I mean, eventually we will. We'll put all new wiring throughout the cab, which is really simple. They sell a wire harness for this truck. So eventually we'll probably do that. But right now all the wires work. You know, all the wiring is working just fine. And so all the lights work and we're ready to go. And if you want to know kind of how big our flatbed actually is, you can take 4 pallets, 4 wooden pallets, and set them right beside each other. And that's basically how big the flatbed is. So it's big enough for us as far as hauling feed, and if we have to haul a pallet or 2 of concrete or whatever we need to haul, we got more than enough truck here to do that with. And yeah, and one thing I should mention here, you could probably notice the truck looks pretty short. So what we did, we shortened the frame on the truck because the frame on the truck was pretty long. I think we took a good 1 to 1.5 feet off the back end of the truck here. I'll kind of show you. We cut it, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there we go. You can see the leaf springs there. Not too far over from that, we cut the frame down and shortened the frame, which gives it this really nice short and tall look. So looks really nice. Yeah, that's our 67 or 1967 C40 Chevy flatbed truck. I love how this truck came out, and I'm still working on it. I'm still getting things done on it. Actually right now I'm working on kingpins for the front end of this thing, because I cannot keep this truck straight going down the road. This truck, it's like the truck's driving like this going down the highway. It looks like a drunk farmer driving around. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Is kingpins in the front end. That will make it really nice driving. And eventually I would like to do something to the rear end of this thing, because this truck, it's really low gear. I mean, it drives, it works just fine, and it's a workhorse. I mean, this thing will pull a tree stump right out of the ground. But yeah, it's so low geared. It only does about 55 to 60 max. Doing 60 miles an hour, it's pretty wrapped out. It's I don't know what kind of RPMs I'm running, but it's up there, and I don't want to damage the motor or do any damage there. So I'm actually going I got a tack on the way, so I know what RPMs I'm running, so that'll be a good thing. That'll be very handy right now, is to see what RPMs I'm running so I don't blow my motor. But yeah, I'd like to do something to the rear end so I can get more top end gearing out of it, and probably get another 5 to 10 miles an hour more out of this truck. Lower the RPMs, that way it's a lot quieter, and it will help the fuel mileage too. So that would give me a lot of benefits right there, just doing something to that rear end, trying to get a little more top end gearing out of the rear end. So that will be probably after kingpins. Once I get kingpins put in the front end, I'm going to start looking into the rear end, I'll see what I could do there. Because that's kind of one of the other big downsides of this truck. But other than that, I mean, man, if we can do something with that rear end and the truck can do 60, 65 miles an hour, and drop those RPMs a little bit and have better fuel mileage, this truck is really going to be nice. So that's the future. That's what I'm planning on for this truck right now. Now it's pretty much, after all that kind of stuff, it's all about basically the interior. The motor is good, so I probably don't have to rebuild the motor for quite some time. So yeah, it's mainly the interior. I'll show you guys the interior real quick. And yeah, it's time to dress up the interior and do like a nice carpet kit or something. The interior actually doesn't look all that bad right now. I have a seat cover in here that actually came out of another pickup that I will be doing in the future, which I will get into here in a little while. But yeah, that's just a seat cover. The seat itself is actually worn out. There's holes in it. The padding's basically just gone in it. The springs are all worn out, so it really, I just need to get a new seat, new carpet kit. I like to use some like Flex Seal or some kind of sealant and seal up the floor, and then lay down a nice carpet kit. Eventually I'll do like a new gauge cluster or something up there. I'll do something. And that is a tack up there that I was trying to get put in yesterday, but unfortunately I think we got a bad tack, so I didn't pay too much for it, so that's good. So I'm going to get another one here, so I got one on the way. But yeah, eventually new carpet kit, new seat, probably new gauge cluster. Eventually I'll get a stereo system to put in there. They make a stereo system, it's pretty expensive for the speakers and the stereo itself. For basically the whole setup, it's going to be about $500 to $600 for the stereo system. But the stereo actually fits right into the cutouts in the dash. I don't have to modify anything. I can pretty much keep the original look to the stereo, and but except it's just a more updated version of the stereo. It'll have Bluetooth, and it's got all the nice LED lights in it, all that good stuff, all the bells and whistles. So that's what I'll do eventually, and the radio can just slide right into those cutouts, and that will look pretty cool, pretty good. And then obviously I need to get a new dash pad to run across the dash there, because that looks pretty bad. So I need to get a new dash pad, things like that. Probably a rear view mirror, a new dome light, maybe a new sun visor, things like that. Decide if I want power windows or just stay with the original hand crank. I like the idea of the hand crank here. It's just that the piece of history, I guess. It's just something you don't see all the time. It's just something different, you know. So I don't know. I think I might stick with the traditional window crank. But either way, I need probably 2 new window regulators, especially the passenger side, because the window over there is really hard to roll down and roll up. So I think the window regulators are just shot. But you know, I mean, they're what, over 50 years old, so what do you expect? But yeah, it's just time to dress up the interior and do some cool stuff like that. And eventually I'll have the truck itself actually painted. I don't know what color, but eventually I'll take it down and actually have a professional job done on it. My dad and I did this paint job here. Nothing special. It's just enough to clean it up and seal up the truck, because it was full with rust, you know, surface rust, nothing serious, but it looked pretty rough. So, but yeah, we still need to put our front bumper. We have a semi bumper we're going to try to put on there. We just haven't gotten the time to get around to fixing up the bumper and modifying it very much. But eventually we will get that put on the front and see how well that works, see how it looks and all that good stuff. And one other thing, the truck is wired for, obviously we got a pigtail down there for the bumper pull trailers. It's wired for trailer lights and trailer brakes through both pigtails. We got one there, and we got another one up there for the gooseneck plate. That way, if we pull a gooseneck or a bumper pull trailer, we not only have our trailer lights, but we have trailer brakes also. So we gotta finish wiring it in to the cab part of it. But as far as the flatbed goes, the pigtails are wired in, wires ran, all that good stuff. We just have to wire in the brake controller, and we got trailer brakes. So just wanted to point that out to you guys also. And I also painted these wheels here. Those are the new 22.5 wheels, 9R25 tires on the back end of this truck. I painted those silver, all of the wheels silver on here, so that way they match. It cleans it up, looks really nice. That is a lot of silver. So I think I'm going to come in sometime and get some black paint and paint the hubs black, just kind of offset that silver, because that's a lot of silver. That's a pretty big wheel, and there's a lot of silver in there. So I think I'll paint the hubs black. I think that'll look pretty good on there. Enough of me talking. So I'm gonna play a slideshow for you guys next. I hope you guys enjoy it. the slideshow is of this truck. It's from literally the day we got it to the way it sits right now. So the very first picture you'll see in the slideshow is the very same day that we got the truck, that my dad drove the truck home and I actually followed him in the pickup. And yeah, we were trying to get by DOT a few times there and get by the scales and get past all of them guys without them messing with us. Trying to get this thing home. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the slideshow. I put together a nice little slideshow. Hope you guys enjoy it. And that'll be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That lets me know that you liked the video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like to see more videos. I have another pickup. It's a 1974 C10 long bed Chevy pickup truck. We are going to do a frame off restoration on it, so that's going to be in the probably this next winter. We'll probably start on it. I'm expecting that to be probably a 2 to 3 year project. So, but that's going to be a really cool one. That truck is going to be a fast truck. Okay, that's going to be a fun truck. So I can't wait for that one. This truck here, it's a cool truck. I mean, it's never been like my dream truck, you know. We just kind of walked into this truck and kind of went on from there. But I mean, I love this truck and stuff, but it's a work truck, you know. It's meant to do work, and it's a cool way of getting stuff done and hauling loads and stuff. And it's a piece of history, you know. But yeah, the pickup, the 74 C10 that we're going to be doing a frame off restoration on, that's going to be like that's like my dream truck. I've always loved those kind of trucks. I really like the short box, but I came across the long box, and you know, I like those too. So it's something different, you know. You don't really see the long boxes all that time. It's always the short box Chevy trucks. So something a little bit different, but it's still that's like my dream truck, you know. And if I can do a frame off restoration on it, I will never get rid of that truck. I mean, that is just, I love those trucks, and I love the old Chevys. I mean, it's in my blood. Runs through our family. But yeah, that's what we're going to do in the future here. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the slideshow. Give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.